Welcome to this tutorial video on ROMA, Training for Boards. As a Community Action Agency board member, you are entrusted with helping guide your agency with key policy-making decisions that will assist the agency in moving low-income families and individuals to self-sufficiency. The programs your agency administers are uniquely tailored to serve the needs of low-income families in your region. It is important that as a board member, you work with your CEO to evaluate programs and assist in securing resources for programs that make an impact in your community. The tough part is determining what programs are truly successes and worth putting countless hours and manpower behind. This is where results-oriented management and accountability, known as ROMA, comes into play. ROMA helps agencies quantify the success of their programs and helps board members to determine where funding and resources should be allocated. ROMA is more than just a simple progress report. It's a complete management and accountability process that is based on the results achieved due to as a result of your agency's activities. With ROMA, you and your agency have a clear picture as to what constitutes a successful program, the outcome for the participating families and individuals, and the outcomes for the communities in which you operate. Now that we understand why ROMA is important to community action success, let's take a look at the accountability cycle. First is assessment. This step involves taking a look at the community's needs and the resources available. It also entails understanding the resources of your agency and the limits to these resources. Second is planning. During the planning phase, the agency will use their mission statement and assessment data to identify the results and strategies they wish to focus on that can assist low-income families and communities. Next is implementation. Services and strategies that were developed during the planning stages are now put into use. Even the best plan needs to have quality staff, facilities, and activities to make the plan into a reality. Some evaluations done at this phase are thought of as process evaluations because they look at how the services are done to produce positive results. Fourth is the achievement of results, where the programs and services are observed and reports are tabulated on their overall progress. This is an ongoing process of staff using good measurement tools to document the progress toward outcomes that they observe or are reported by participants. Outcomes are usually tallied at establishment intervals like 6 months or a year. This is sometimes thought of as an outcome evaluation. Last is the evaluation stage, where the data from the previous 2 activities is analyzed and compared with benchmarks set by your agency or similar programs. This is the phase where agency data is turned into information that can be used by board members to make decisions. It's important to note that the ROMA cycle is a complete circle, and that the evaluation of data and benchmarks feed directly back into the next assessment process of the community's needs. Now, you still may be wondering, but do we really need ROMA? Let's take a short trip back in history to 1993 to find out why the accountability cycle is so important. In 1993, Congress passed the Government Performance and Results Act, known as GPRA. The purpose of the act was to improve federal program effectiveness and public accountability by focusing on results, service quality, and client satisfaction. In 1994, the Community Action Monitoring and Assessment Task Force was formed in response to the GPRA to develop a national strategic plan. The strategic plan endorsed a results-oriented approach for community action agencies. In the strategic plan, the Monitoring and Assessment Task Force identified 6 national goals that would allow all community action agencies to talk about the results using one or more of the common goals. The 6 national goals are: Goal 1. This is a family-oriented goal. Low-income people become more self-sufficient. Goal 2. This is a community-oriented goal. The conditions in which low-income people, their lives are improved. Goal number 3, this is a community-oriented goal. Low-income people own a stake in their community. Goal 4, this is an agency-oriented goal. Partnerships among supporters and providers of services to low-income people are achieved. Goal 5, this is an agency-oriented goal. Agencies increase their capacity to achieve results. And Goal 6, this is a family-oriented goal. Low-income people, especially vulnerable populations, achieve their potential by strengthening family and other support systems. Next, in 1998, the Community Services Block Grant was amended to mandate implementation of a comprehensive performance-based management system across the entire community services network. This system was Results-Oriented Management and Accountability, or ROMA, and was defined in the 1998 CSBG Act as a sound management practice that incorporates the use of outcomes or results in the administration, management, and operation of all programs. Performance reporting using ROMA began on October 1, 2001 for all community action agencies. It is important to note that this performance reporting was for the entire CAA, all of their activities that produce results, not just those that were funded by CSBG. After careful examination of the CSBG authorizing legislation, which speaks to program coordination requirements both within and beyond eligible entities, OCS, has concluded that it is both necessary and appropriate to apply ROMA concepts to the work of community action, not CSBG alone. The 6 national ROMA goals reflect a number of important concepts that support this. The goals convey the unique strengths that the broader concept of community action brings to the nation's anti-poverty efforts. The goals provide a basis for results-oriented, not process-based or program-specific plans and activities and reports. Agencies must look at how they can organize their efforts around family, community, and organizational change, what happens as a result of the efforts, rather than on particular programs or services. It might take a number of services to work together to achieve a goal. The goals presume that community action is most successful when activities supported by a number of funding sources are organized around clients and community outcomes, both within an agency and with other service providers. The goals recognize that when families improve, that means that communities also improve, and that these results are based on agency improvements too. We must embrace ROMA, not only because it's now required by law, but also because the continuation of community action as we know it may depend on our willingness to embrace change, to adopt ideas and concepts that we have fashioned ourselves to enhance programs, effectiveness, and accountability. In addition to the services and activities provided by an agency, which is what you do, you must also focus on the results, outcomes, and products of the programs you provide to the community. We know that community action agencies change clients' lives for the better and help make the community a better place to live. Community action agencies are change agents, but just how do you track the progress of your agency? In the past, community action agencies kept track of statistics such as the number of food baskets distributed, the number of families receiving WIC, and the number of clients served per day. These statistics are excellent in understanding the daily operations of your agency, but they don't show the results that are attributed to the services performed. In short, you know how many clients received intervention, but did that intervention lead to the client reaching community action's goal of becoming self-sufficient? The results of your agency are what ROMA helps your agency measure. When looking at results, you must also remember that results count on a family and individual level, an agency level, and on the community level. So why is just reporting services provided by your agency not enough? Let's take a look at baseball, America's pastime, to learn about why it's important to tabulate results. Your favorite team is in last place. The team can spend significant sums of money on new coaches and a new manager. They can also make all pitchers throw double their practice time, but without the results of winning, fans will not be interested in the team. This is similar to your community action agency reporting on how they have served double the amount of people in an average month, but the community still sees poverty in the area. Your agency needs to produce winning results, but just what constitutes a winning community action agency? Knowing what constitutes a winning agency is key to your agency's success in the community. Baseball understands that a batter that hits 300, meaning he gets a hit 3 out of every 10 at-bats, is a successful player. You, as a board member, serve as your agency's equivalent of a general manager who must work with your executive director or coach to determine what constitutes winning results for your agency. The public wants wins, and by tracking your agency's success rate for changing lives and improving the community, you will open up the opportunity for your agency to gain the support and trust of the community. By using ROMA, you will document your success, proving that you and your agency are a winning team. Remember, the assessment step we talked about? It's vital that you and your board members and executive director sit down to determine the needs and resources of both your community and your agency before you begin to set the parameters for what constitutes a success. The next step to your agency's implementation of ROMA is determining how your agency can change lives and improve the community. As a board member, you will help the staff of your agency determine what results are expected for the families and the community you serve. Once you have identified what results are expected, you should then work to estimate how many clients will be able to achieve the results you're aiming for. So how do you identify realistic results? Remember, in baseball, a hitter who only reaches base 3 out of 10 times is considered a success. So weigh your program's results accordingly. It's important to note that baseball came to the conclusion that 3 out of 10 was an excellent statistic by collecting and analyzing data over a long-term period of time. Your agency must commit and collect analyzing data over a long period of time so you too can develop a standard of performance for your fans, the community. It is your role as a board member to help the staff develop and set realistic expectations for the results to be achieved. You will also have to consider the difficulties that stand in the way for self-sufficiency for families and communities. Once you have determined the results you would like your agency to produce for the community, you must determine how to measure the results. Let's take a look at one sample outcome indicator measure. If you project that 20 families will receive budget counseling over the fiscal year, you will want to determine how many of these you think will improve their ability to manage their income, which is the outcome of the service. So how do you measure this? One way would be to have participants make a budget and then monitor how well they keep to the budget. If you think that 7 of the families will be able to establish and maintain their budget for 90 days, this is what we call an outcome indicator, which means it is what you will use to document the outcome. In this case, 7 out of the 20, or 35% of the families, are expected to hit and get on base, as in baseball. After observing this program for several rotations, the agency in this case was able to establish that 35% is a realistic standard for success. Along with family and individual goals, you and your agency must remember to set community goals. These goals can be much more difficult to establish measurements for, but it is an important part of Community Action's original mission that you can help the community grow and improve. Some examples of community results are low-income people having improved access to essential services, an increase of available living wage jobs, and an increase in adequate and affordable housing in your community. Improving your own agency capacity is also important and provides a particular area where you can play an important role. There are several ways to increase your agency's ability to improve results, such as partnering with supporters and like-minded service providers to strengthen the agency. You are encouraged to use your connections in the community to foster new partnerships that will develop the capacity of your Community Action Agency. You can also use your position to maintain vital partnerships already established between the agency's community partners. Periodically, you will be asked by your agency to evaluate the results of these partnerships. You will have to answer the question, is your agency better as a result of the partnership? By using these valuable steps, you will be able to help your agency assemble an all-star team of programs and workers that will help improve your community and bring low-income families and individuals to self-sufficiency. Remember that ROMA is key in demonstrating success that will win over public support and improve your public image. Nothing is as powerful as the documentation that ROMA can help your agency develop to show the community that your agency and its workers are having a positive impact on the community. Thank you for participating in this video tutorial. For more information on ROMA and to schedule a ROMA training at your agency, contact the Community Action Association of Pennsylvania by phone at 717-233-1075 or on the web at www.thecaap.org.